We all want to impress our viewers with something like catching story or acting skills, but not all of us are great actors or storytellers to hook a viewer. So we have to rely more on editing skills. And I'm here to help you. Hello, my name is Denzo, your video editing guide. Alright, to create eye-catching videos you have two options. You can spend time on video editing tutorials to create everything from scratch, or you can spend money on video assets to create videos fast. And I'm here to provide you with both options. So, we'll start with tutorial on how to create this unfolding paper effect in Premiere Pro. And later I will show you what can you do with pre-made version of this effect so that you can decide which option fits you best. Let's start. Now we are in Premiere Pro. Here we have so-called clean plate and base video where we want to unfold our object, which is me. But you can use this effect with any other video. You just need object which you can cut out. Okay, let's nest both of our videos and call them V1 and V2. Find V2 in Project Manager, duplicate it and name it as V2 cutout base. Don't forget to add frame hold here. It should be still for proper cutout. I will use pen tool for cutting me out, but you can do it with rotor brush as well in After Effects. I will show you how to do this later, so for now we'll make it in old school way manually, with pen tool. We have finished masking our object. Nest it one more time and name it as Cutout Front. Then duplicate it in Project Manager and call it Cutout Front Outline. It will be white outline for our object. Go inside this nest, expand mask by 4 or 8 pixels, and apply tint effect with white colors. Now we have white outline. Also, don't forget to set mask feather to 0, so that cutout edge would be sharp. Here I have assets folder with textures. I want to use paper texture and drop it in V2 cutout base. Let's place it above all layers, apply screen blending mode, and adjust its size and position so it would fully cover our object. Also, I applied the level effect on texture and adjusted it so texture would blend more naturally. By the way, these paper textures are from my paper textures pack, which is available in my store, so check them out. Back to tutorial. Let's make this paper texture to cover our object only. Duplicate cutout front outline. Place it above texture and then nest our paper texture layer. Let's name it Paper Texture Front. Find Track Matte Key effect and apply it to Paper Texture Front. Use Alpha Matte mode and choose Matte Source as before video track. It should be Cutout Front Outline. Also, don't forget to apply Screen Blending mode to texture layer. Let's duplicate Cutout Base in Project Manager and name it as Cutout Base Back. Go inside, delete all layers except for Cutout Front Outline. In Assets folder we have Paper Texture Background. It's a white one, which we will use as a back of our object. Drop it at the first track and put front cutout layer above it. Nest paper texture layer as paper texture back, so that we can use track matte key effect. Nice, we have our cutout back. Now go to V2 cutout base. Choose all the layers, nest them and name as V2 cutout base front. Let's add a layer and matte source to reveal our object. Open Graphics and Titles menu, choose New Layer and add Rectangle Graphic Layer. Adjust its size so it would cover most of screen space, like I did here. OK, now add markers every 4 frames in timeline. From frame 4 to frame 24, this will be our guide for animation in the future. Let's animate our graphic layer to replicate unfolding steps. We will have 5 steps, 400 pixels each. Set keyframe on frame 4, go to frame 5 and subtract 400 pixels from Y position and keyframe it so our graphic layer moves up. Repeat this step on every marker until graphic layer has gone off the screen. Once we finished with this graphic layer, apply Track Matte Key effect to cutout base front and use graphic layer as matte source. Don't forget to hit reverse checkbox. Now we have simple animation revealing our object. Go to Cutout Base Back and nest all layers to Cutout Back. Copy and drop graphic layer here and use it as matte source for Cutout Back. Now in Cutout Base, choose all layers and nest them as Cutout Front. Drop Cutout Base Back above and apply vertical flip effect. As you can see, it starts looking closer to our effect. Go to first marker, align front and back layers to match cut line. Then start animating Cutout Base Back like we did before with graphic. But use 800 pixel step, this way it should be aligned with front part of our object every 4 frames. As you can see, we already have basic unfolding paper effect, but let's add more details. Move Cutout Base Back layer one track up, then copy and drop graphic layer on second track. Duplicate Cutout Front, drop it on third track, and move Cutout Base Back one track up. We'll use this graphic layer as a shadow, so apply Track Matte Key effect. Use Cutout Front layer as a matte source and then adjust vertical anchor point. So layer would go down a little bit. Then apply Gaussian blur to it. Set Multiply Blend Mode. Note that blur effect should be placed after Track Matte Key to work properly. Now we have animated shadow for our object. Let's add paper rip effect on the edge of back side. Go to Cutout Base Back, duplicate graphic layer and put it on track 3. Nest Cutout Back and graphic layer and name them as Cutout Back Base. Choose second graphic layer and move it with anchor point little bit. Nice, let's add paper rip element. Choose it from Assets folder, drop in Timeline under graphic layer and align with bottom edge of graphic rectangle. Now we have to animate paper rip to be aligned with this edge all the way up. Let's use graphic position animation as reference and set keyframes to paper rip accordingly. Once we've done it, place graphic and paper rip layers and nest them as ripped paper matte. Then apply Track Matte Key effect on Cutout Back Base and use ripped paper matte as a source and click on reverse checkbox. Nice, now we have fully animated backside of our object. It's time to start assembling transition. Go to sequence with our videos, drop Cutout Base there, so that it starts after end of video 1 and video 2 starts after Cutout Base. Now let's add background. Cut last frame at first video, add frame hold to it, and extend it under Cutout Base, so that it fully covers timeline under. Also, you can move video 2 to the right by a couple of frames for better transition. Now choose these layers and nest them as transition. Open transition, move Cutout Base one track up, and let's start adding paper overlay textures in a free track. Choose textures from Assets folder and start adding them one by one, every 4 frames with screen mode. Once we've done adding all textures, we can adjust them with the levels effect to blend with background. It's ready. We have animated background now. Also, we can add flashing lights at the start of transition. For now, I need any 2 layers, for example, paper texture. Add tint effect with white color and animate opacity so that it would mimic flashlight. For better result, use overlay mode for first layer and for second use screen mode and lower opacity, like in an example. So here's the flashlight. Back to main sequence again and let's add final touch. More dynamic look to transition. We'll animate scale and rotation through transition. Add scale keyframes at the start and at the end of transition. Then add rotation keyframes every 4 frames for transition layer, as we did with graphic layer position before. Well done! Now we have unfolding paper effect in Premiere Pro. And now it's time to add some vibe to our video. So let's drop VHS 30 overlays on the clean plate to get retro vibe look. By the way, you can get these VHS overlays absolutely for free. Just read description under the video. So here's what we've got. Nice, right? Now let's have a look how fast can we achieve this result with pre-made unfolding paper effect. Let's back to our main sequence and drop unfolding paper transition Mogart from Essential panel. Drop it between two videos. Make nests for parts of the videos we want to use in transition and drop those nests into media holders under Essential Graphics panel. Go into cutout holder, click on layer with the right mouse button and choose Replace with After Effects Composition. Now we are in After Effects. Open Compositions until we get to the video layer and use brush on it. Paint on area you wanna left visible. For areas you want to get rid of, paint with Alt button, so brush should become red, and delete unnecessary fields. Well done! We have isolated our object. Save After Effects project and go back to Premiere Pro. Give it some time to refresh, and here we have our effect done. You can play with settings, change position and length of white backside and adjust textures on the front and back of the object. Our unfolding paper effect is ready. Similar process goes inside After Effects, but it's all done natively and works much faster than in Premiere Pro. So, if you have option to work in After Effects, I highly recommend to do it there. You can get these and other effects in our store. All links are in the description. That's it for today. It was Dan the Motion, and we'll see you in the next videos. Goodbye.